Good morning, beautiful people of the Center for Spiritual Living. Week 2 of forgiveness. Are you ready for it? I'm not so much. Actually, the topic this morning, I forgive myself, is for some people it's the most difficult part of forgiveness. Perhaps it is because we can be more generous with other people for their transgressions than we are sometimes with ourselves. I think forgiving self and then the bigger ones like forgiving life and forgiving God, those are the gritty ones. And today, I forgive myself. Well, it has to be approached with tenderness because of how sensitive it is. On the first Wednesday of each month, we gather and we launch the practice that we're going to be focusing on for the month, forgiveness this month. And so on the first Wednesday of this month, we started and we presented an interactive process of visualization and prayer and singing. And it occurred to me that was the perfect exercise when it comes to forgiving yourself, that kind of, and to grow that environment of love and acceptance where forgiveness is likely to take place. So Chris and I are going to repeat that with you today, and we have permission from the composer of the song that we're going to use to record it. And what that means to you is that you can get the CD today with this meditation on it, and then you can use it on your own. It's the sort of thing that you can listen to and over again, because self-forgiveness is not something you just do in one afternoon or one morning or one sitting. You know, it's an environment that you're creating. You can also listen to the audio free on our website, and tomorrow it will be streamed on the video. But if you want it right away and you want to play it regularly, you can purchase a CD for you to use as an evening devotional. Self-forgiveness is not, it's not paint by numbers, you know. You don't do this and then you do that and then self-forgiveness is the result. It's more, well, you have to, I believe, create an atmosphere in which self-forgiveness is likely to take place. So you're nurturing an attitude towards life. And it's like the song said, you've got to let love lead you there. It's the only way you go there. And who knows when it'll come, but you've let love lead you. And this meditation we're going to do, I believe, is part of the way of preparing the foundation, the soil in which self-forgiveness might emerge. On Wednesday I mentioned, and it's really been the focus this whole year, that our theme of practice is to broaden our definition and use of spiritual practice. Because one legitimate way of using spiritual practice is to address things that go wrong in our lives. So, you know, something happens and, well, we turn to spiritual mind treatment, affirmative prayer. That's good. It's certainly going to help. Or I find my mental activity is too loud and I can't concentrate. I've got too much going on. Well, if I establish a meditation practice of sitting regularly every day, I am certainly going to see good results with that. Or let's say I'm feeling stuck in my life. My creativity is not moving. I don't know which way to go. Certainly, start journaling. That's a practice that's coming up, and you'll get support in learning how to do that, because that practice is going, it's well known that it will open up your creative juices and you will find your way more clearly in the world. Or let's say, for example, your finances are stuck. Well, definitely, if you start a practice of regular, conscious, structured giving, you are going to find that through that practice of showing up at the same time, at the same place, giving your gift financially, it's going to do something beautiful for your inner life. No doubt about it. Or if you're feeling disconnected, you don't know your place in the world, if you start volunteering, selfless service somewhere, you're going to notice roots starting to drop into your community, into your world. That's how it is. Spiritual practice is wonderful to respond to the stuck places in our life. And there is a downside of making a permanent connection through habit between struggle and spiritual practice. It's what I do when I struggle. You know, sometimes people who come to the Center for Spiritual Living, they'll get a new relationship, and then they'll disappear. And then they'll come back. You know, when something gets tough, and they'll say, oh yeah, I really need this right now. And I want to say to them, maybe you really needed it when things were well, right? So I'm thinking about this theme, practice, 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 the idea of turning to spiritual practice as a way, an ongoing way of nurturing an attitude of mind in good times and in times of challenge. So in other words, that's what spiritual practice means. It means my life has got activities in it that are spiritual all the time, no matter what's going on. So I don't need a system to collapse or something to go wrong for me to pray about it. I pray because of what it does for me and how I am and how I show up in the world when I'm praying. I don't need to wait for somebody to offend me or to have a grievance before I do forgiveness practices, although it's a good time to do it. No, I like to practice forgiveness because of how I feel when I'm doing that and how it prepares the way and where it leads me. It's an ongoing process. Our practitioner, Sherry Corbett, sent me an email when this month started, and she said, I read this quote yesterday, and I had to pass it on to you because I've been married for a ridiculously long 34 years to the same person, and I totally related to this gem. A happy marriage is the union of two good forgivers. That's Ruth Bell Graham. And so she said at the end of her email, really, we get to practice, practice, practice. Yes, I resonate with that too. Creating an atmosphere in which love prospers, creating a mental atmosphere in which forgiveness is likely to happen, it takes ongoing one step after the other step in that direction. So I'm remembering again, I practice giving financially, not to get something, not to gain some advantage. No, because of how I feel when I do it. I practice gratitude practices, and that's coming up next week and next month, and we'll have guides and workbooks for you to practice gratitude practices. And I do that not to get something out of the world. I do it because when I'm plugged into my gratitude, I am a better person. I volunteer not to get something out of the world. No, I make sure in my life there is some time that I give freely to some other organization. Because when I do it, I can remember my contribution and how I'm actively part of this vision of creating a world that works for everyone. And it reminds me that spiritual practice is a way of life characterized by this. I'm giving the most and receiving the most of me, of you, for the world, so that my passion and my humor and my creativity, much more of it can be present without the blocks and the hooks that stop us from stepping forward. Spiritual living is passionate, alive living. It reminds me of one of the quotes in this month's forgiveness booklet. It's attributed to Mark Twain, and I invite you to read it with me. Life is short. Break the rules. Forgive quickly. Kiss slowly. Love truly. Laugh uncontrollably. And never regret anything that made you smile. 20 years from now, you will be more disappointed by the things you didn't do than by the ones you did. So throw off the bowlines. Sail away from the safe harbor. Catch the trade winds in your sails. Explore, dream, discover. Yeah. I would say that this is the point of spiritual living. It certainly is the point of forgiveness work, to establish us in a place where we can live a rich, full, happy, expressive, adventurous present life. So I'm inviting you to join me as I expand my definition of spiritual practices, expand the way I think about spirituality. So although it can be a response to the difficulties of my life, I also want to think of it as the mental attitude with which I approach life in general, and the things I do every day to cause me to be more affirming, more generous, more welcoming, more happy. Every day, to establish in me a welcome zone where self-forgiveness might feel at home. You know, somebody once suggested to me that to really get forgiveness practice right, I have to approach this. He said, Edward, you need to approach this very selfishly. He said, I want you to focus on the quality of life that you want to live, and just focus on that. And that you have to realize that you're doing all of this work for your mental and spiritual health so that you can kiss slowly and be present for it. And that you can love truly and be present for it. And you can laugh with all of yourself. And you know, it helped me tremendously when he said that. It helped me put up with how difficult the work can be. I'm doing this, I would tell myself, for my spiritual, mental, and emotional well-being. And on the other side of it, at the end of it, everyone around me, everyone around you benefits anyway. When more of me is present, when more of you is present, oh. One of the phrases in this little booklet that has helped me along the way tremendously is this one. When I first encountered it, I had heard that it would lead the way to a mental atmosphere of forgiveness. And so I would carry it around in my mental pocket, repeating it to myself all throughout the day, whether or not somebody had offended me. Won't you read it with me? I release all people, places, and things from expectations. I allow creation to be what it is. I open myself to see the good. And so it's one of the practices that is suggested in this little booklet. And perhaps you've been following along already because we are in the second week of it. And you may have, if you're following along, noticed that instead of going for this is the way you have to forgive, instead it's a question. How do you think people forgive? How do you forgive? What did you learn from your role models of forgiveness if you had them? What do you think might be the benefits of forgiveness work? The key word is investigate. To look into it, because it's so tender that one must proceed gently, and you deserve to find your own place and your own definition with the answers by taking time every single day. There's something for you to do every single day. Like the recent questions, how do you think your life would be different if you forgave yourself? Or how would your life experience, the quality be, if the way you talked to yourself in your inner dialogue, if it was more affirmative? And so on. Or further back, in what suggestion would you make to somebody who's trying to forgive the unforgivable? Not to force you into an answer, but for you to keep on opening up the soil, opening up the environment for your own deep understanding, to create a space of safety where self-forgiveness might take deep root, pave the way. So there's a meditation that I believe that works very well in this regard, and it's the sort of thing that you can practice on your own over and over again, and I like to do it as an evening devotional. So the words are, "You are the face of God," and they are so simple that you can very easily commit them to memory. And if you feel comfortable doing so at that point, let your eyes go. So to set the tone for this work, we're going to sing through it twice, and then we'll have some guided process.
You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God.
And if you feel comfortable enough to let your eyes close, do so gently, so that in your mind's eye you can call to mind somebody who you love very, very much. And perhaps you're thinking about the contours of this person's face, whether they are still living or already passed on. Or maybe you're thinking about the way you feel when you are around this person. And whether or not you can see the image of this person in your imagination, or you're just telling yourself the story of their presence and effect on you, I invite you to bring them into the room as if they are sitting right here directly across from you, where you can address the words of this song to them from your heart.
You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God.
And now, loving that person, I invite you to move on with me in your imagination to someone who loves you very, very much. Perhaps you're thinking of the contours of this person's face. Or maybe you're just remembering how you feel when you are around this person. Either way, I invite you to bring into your imagination the idea of this person, as if they were right here with you, sitting directly across from you, where you can address to them from your heart the words of this song.
You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God.
And loving the idea of this person, I invite you now to move with me deeper into this feeling of love that is present, and to call to your awareness someone that you may have had some challenge with. It needn't be the largest challenge of your life. It might just be some words of disagreement. But either way, in the safety of this room, I invite you to bring the idea of that person in, as if they are close enough for you to be able to address them with the words of this song from your heart to them.
You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God.
I invite you now to let that person be. And in your own mind, imagine a person who is in leadership position in your community right now or in the world. And whether or not you agree with this person, I invite you to bring the idea of their being into the room so that you can, from this position of love, support them and direct these words from your heart to theirs.
You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God.
I invite you now to return to the idea of someone who loves you very, very much. It could be the person you recently thought of, or it may be somebody else. It may be somebody living or somebody who's passed on. But you are invited to bring the image, the idea of this person directly so that it is as if you are addressing them right across from you with the love that is in your heart as it pours out through the words of the song.
You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God.
I invite you now to imagine again someone you love very, very much. It may be the person you started with at the beginning of this meditation, or maybe somebody else. It may be the memory of someone who has passed on or someone living right now. And in your imagination, I invite you to bring this person into the room so that they are directly across from you, where you can address them with this welling up of love and affirmation from your heart to theirs.
You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God.
And now, letting this image of this person you love very much be, I invite you to imagine that you are standing in front of a mirror where you are able to see an image of your own face, your own self. And whether or not you can see the image, I invite you to imagine that you are bringing your own self into this space as if you were sitting across from your very own self, where you are able to address yourself with the words of this song, from the love in your heart to the love that you are.
You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart.
so it is that we are establishing in us a space of love from which our forgiveness grows, a space of generosity from which our freedom grows. We're establishing a space of deep, soulful connectedness to the truth of our being.
Forgiveness sets me free. Forgiveness starts with me. Wherever I go, whatever I know, forgiveness sets me free.
And I am remembering by means of this prayer that forgiveness is my love, and I am remembering to love and to let love lead me home. I'm remembering to expand my circle of love, to go beyond and to love those people in my close environment. Even though I don't know how, I trust the love that I am to show me the path.
I forgive someone right now. I may not know just how to begin to let go, so I let love show me I forgive someone right now.
And the willingness in me to allow my love to expand moves in ever-broadening circles until in my mind I can imagining it being a platform upon which the whole world can stand. I'm opening my heart so that I can take my place in the community of beings in the world, open and free-flowing, making a contribution of love wherever I go.
I forgive the world today. As I forgive the world, I say, it opens my heart, it works from the start. I forgive the world today.
And so it is that I'm returning to the memory of my true self, that there is that within me that I didn't create, that was always there, my love, my true nature, and I open myself to the experience of living from it. It leaves me feeling free and available and true.
Forgiveness is the love that I send. Forgiveness leaves me nothing to defend. Forgiveness always gets me to the end of what I thought I knew to be true. What brings me pain can't be true, and it wasn't you. I forgive myself inside. I know that love will guide me, for no matter the sin, there's a place to begin.